Welcome to Capital OTB's Daily Report, brought to you by CapitalOTBBet.com. Don't forget, Derby right around the corner, so you want to have your Capital OTB Bet account ready to go. Go to the website for more information, CapitalOTB.com. Take advantage of all the bells and whistles that Capital OTB Bet has to offer, including promotions and events. And if you have your Capital OTB Bet account, don't forget that Thursday at noontime, the second Derby Syndicate fires up. First come, first serve. If you missed getting in on last Saturday's Derby Syndicate number 1, which closed very quickly, all slots filled, so Capital OTB opened up a second Derby Syndicate. Sign-ups will begin Thursday at noontime, and again, it's first come, first serve. It allows you to get into a big series of tickets on Derby Day and into the Kentucky Derby for a relatively modest amount of money. Again, the syndicates are always a lot of fun. The Derby Syndicate will certainly be a lot of fun for folks on Derby Day. Check out the website for information. And again, first come, first serve for the Derby Syndicate Thursday at noontime. Sign-ups begin. CapitalOTB.com for more information. This is the Daily Report for Thursday, April 22nd. I'm Seth Merrow. As always, we start out with a trivia question. And Thursday is opening day at Belmont, so we'll have a Belmont-oriented question, and obviously the big springtime stakes race at Belmont Park is the Belmont Stakes, third leg of the Triple Crown. Year in and year out, typically, last year was a little bit different as it kicked off the Triple Crown, but everything has come back to normal, at least as far as the calendar and the Triple Crown this year. It will again be the third leg. And today's trivia question: can you name 3 of the last 5 Belmont Stakes winners? That's all you have to do. 3 of the last 5 Belmont Stakes winners. Name those, and you have gotten today's trivia question correct. We will have the answer at the end of the program. But for now, let's kick things off for this Thursday, April 22nd edition of Capital OTB's Daily Report.
How does it feel to be a horseman and finally things are back on schedule after last year's crazy year?
Well, I mean, I think for everyone, horsemen or just people in general, are starting to feel better about everything, and things are starting to get back to some normalcy. So yeah, it's been a year that's presented a lot of challenges for a lot of people, and in the horse business, we've been pretty fortunate that we've been able to keep things going somewhat normal in a lot of cases.
I talked a moment ago about how last year's Triple Crown Series was a little bit different vis-a-vis the calendar, and that was Todd Pletcher talking a little bit about how it's nice to get back to some sense of normalcy in the racing world. The Derby, the first Saturday in May this year. And Todd, thanks to the HPBA down in Kentucky again, they've been doing some interviews on the backstretch, and we picked up this interview from earlier this week with Todd Pletcher. He talks about his 4 horses in the Kentucky Derby. Sainthood comes out of that nice second in the Jeff Ruby. Known Agenda out of the win in the Florida Derby. And Bourbonic and Dynamic One out of the 1-2 finish in the Wood Memorial in New York. Todd talks about how those 4 horses are coming into the Derby at this point, plans to prep over the next week and a half or so. Also talks a little bit about riding Kendrick Carmouche on Bourbonic, the winner of the Wood. And he will also mention a little bit about his Kentucky Oaks hopeful Malathat as well. So here we go. Again, thanks to the Kentucky HBPA for their great work on the backstretch this lead up to the Kentucky Derby couple of weeks. And they caught up with Todd Pletcher, again, just a couple days ago.
Been really happy with the way everyone shipped in. First breezes over the track were very good, and came out of it in good order. So we'll kind of keep a close eye on the weather this week and decide when we're going to go with our final preps. But very happy so far.
He got right neck and neck with Soup and Sandwich right there. Did he show you something when he got right there, and then all of a sudden, boom, there was that other gear?
Yeah, I mean, I love the way Known Agenda finished in the Florida Derby, and it seemed like he just kind of lowered down and took off the last 16th of a mile. And, he's really improved since we put blinkers on him. He's getting a little more focused. He's maturing and just getting a little more professional in each start. So we're excited about that and excited about the mile and a quarter, which I think will suit him perfectly.
Does it seem strange having 4 horses in the Derby and John Velasquez isn't riding one of them?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be riding Malathat in the Kentucky Oaks for us. So, I think one of the biggest impacts of the pandemic was consistently keeping jockeys on horses, and starting back right after the Florida Derby last year, a lot of guys either took some time off and didn't ride, or some guys stayed at Gulfstream, some guys took a hiatus, some guys came here. So and then with the restrictions of guys going out of town and coming back, it's really, I would say in the last year, we've had more rider changes than probably the previous 20 years combined.
Just describe the transition. This has been sort of weird for you this year, because I guess a month ago maybe it looked like you wouldn't have any,
Yeah.
or might not have any.
Might
And then
not.
you went from 0 to 4. What was that like for you?
Well, I mean, we looking at it, we felt like we had some live horses coming into some final round preps, but that can go two ways, really well, or you can be left out. So when St. Hood finished second, we knew that he'd probably put himself in a position he'd be right on the bubble, and Known Agenda, that was a big win, for a number of reasons, and then kind of had a pleasant surprise in the Wood. Although we felt, both horses were training well enough to be competitive in there. When you run a 15-to-1 shot and a 70-to-1 shot, you're not necessarily expecting to finish first and second, but we weren't shocked based on the way we'd seen them train.
When it comes to Bourbonic and the Wood, and then now you look at this field, you could get pretty spread out. Does he have to be in a certain spot in order to be able to close?
Yeah,
here?
I mean, we're going to try to do the same thing. We'll sit back and make one late run, and the one thing I feel good about our group is I think they're all designed for the 1.25 miles. They're stoutly bred that way, and I think if we can get lucky and get good trips with them, I think they'll all hopefully be finishing up in the end.
What about Kendrick and his ability to ride him?
Well, I mean, first of all, he has a lot of confidence in the horse, and we had a clear strategy in mind in the Wood, and he wanted to sit back and save ground in the first turn and make one run, and he was able to do that. And he got a really good split at the top of the stretch. We had the horse's momentum going, and didn't have to alter course. Just kind of kept his momentum built up, and gave him a perfect ride.
Has he ridden a lot for you over the years? Maybe when you run something at parks or?
Yeah, I mean, he's Kendrick's won a lot of races all over for us in Pennsylvania before he came to New York. But in New York, he's done well for us. And really, when in November, when the Breeders' Cup, a lot of the guys were out of town, we put him on. I think he had 6 winners for us that weekend at Aqueduct, and so kind of picked up some momentum from there, and he was able to win the Aqueduct meet. And I think it was kind of a breakout meet for him, and he's carried the momentum over this year.
You mentioned the fact that he's run so many races for you, but this is kind of a different animal. Do you have a message, a different message, or just say, "Dude, man, do your thing"?
Yeah, no, we're gonna try to do the exact same thing we did in the Wood and sit back and make one run. And of course, the challenge there is you're gonna have 19 other horses to try to weave your way through. But like I said, I mean, he's optimistic, and he's coming in with a great attitude, and he'll be up to the challenge.
Talk about your Oaks filly now with that. Her Ashland Stakes was pretty good performance heading into the Oaks.
Yeah, I mean, she's been a special filly since day one. Just joy to train, very professional, straightforward, able to break her maiden going 7, step up into a stake next time and win easily, and then had a pretty eventful trip in the Demoiselle on a sloppy track, and really just flew home the last part, and then took a little while to get ready. We were originally planning to run in the Gulfstream Oaks, and ended up in the Ashland, and I thought turning for home she maybe had too much to do, but she finished the last quarter in 23-2, and just like I said, I mean, she's just been a joy.
Look, just the one race this year so far. What was the plan behind just the one race?
Well, we had a little setback in January, which held us up a little bit, and so we ended up thinking the Gulfstream Oaks would be our one prep 5 weeks out, and unfortunately when Sheikh Hamdan passed away, we, out of respect for him, Rick Nichols asked that we not run any horses for 10 days, so that's how we ended up in the Ashland, and really worked out great. Now she's a Grade 1 winner, and she's seem to bounce out of it well, so I don't see the 4 weeks being an issue.
Todd, last question for me. What's it like just to be back here on these grounds, getting ready for this race?
Yeah, I mean it's always exciting. It's great to be back there and have some live horses coming into some big races. That's what we're always hoping for.
And again, thanks to the Kentucky HBPA, Jenny Reese and team, who have been putting together some nice interviews in prep for the Kentucky Derby, Churchill Downs backstretch, lead up to the Derby, the Oaks, and some of the other stakes races. And that was Todd Pletcher from a couple days ago. Thursday afternoon, let's get you up to date on what's coming up. Capital OTB, Capital OTB TV, Capital OTB Bet. Looking forward to Thursday because it means opening day at Belmont. Looking forward always to the springtime meet at Belmont with some great stakes action. And, of course, Belmont means Saratoga's right around the corner as well. But we'll enjoy Belmont while we have it. Beautiful Belmont Park with a lot of great racing, a lot of great stakes action. And it kicks off on Thursday. Also need to mention that the return of the traditional Pick Six in New York, the Empire Six, the jackpot bet is out. The traditional Pick Six has come back. If you've been waiting for that, jump in on Thursday with the opening of Belmont. The traditional Pick Six returns to New York at a $1 increment, so a little more affordable for folks. Belmont on Thursday, Keeneland on Thursday as well. The last couple of days of their spring meet, they were off the turf at Keeneland on Wednesday. And in fact, late in the card, there were some flurries floating around in the paddock. It looks like the weather over the next couple of days, Thursday and Friday, will moderate a little bit. Still chilly temperatures for Lexington this time of year, but it doesn't look like any precipitation. So let's keep our fingers crossed that with only a couple days in the meet, they get back on the turf at Keeneland on Thursday and Friday. Also Thursday afternoon, Oaklawn, Gulfstream Park, Golden Gate. A little bit later on the sulky side, it's Mohawk, Yonkers, and Hoosier. All, again, Capital OTB TV, Capital OTB Bet. Lots of great action on Thursday. Also want to alert you to some of the promos that are coming up. Once again, have to reiterate the Kentucky Derby Syndicate number 2. It opens up for entries at noontime on Thursday. First come, first serve. If the syndicate is of interest to you, keep the countdown in mind. Noontime on Thursday, sign-ups will begin. CapitalOTB.com. Also Thursday, there's a Pick 4 bankroll. You can check online to see if the sign-ups are still available and see if you can put your name in to potentially get selected for the Thursday afternoon bankroll team. Friday, prize wheel day at the Clubhouse Racebook. If you're in the Albany area, stop by the Racebook, 711 Central Avenue in Albany. Watch the races, bet the races, and maybe spin the prize wheel. Folks randomly selected throughout the afternoon to spin for prizes, vouchers, and fun. Friday also, $100 online win-a-bet contest. If you're playing through CapitalOTBBet.com, Friday closing day at Keeneland also offers a Keeneland track bonus. Check out the website for more information there. Saturday, Churchill Downs opens up. Keep that in mind. Saturday, there's also a $300 OTB Live bankroll at the Clubhouse Racebook. Stop by the Racebook on Saturday and see if you can get on the bankroll team. Put your name in the hat. Folks will be randomly selected. Should be a lot of fun. Saturday at the Clubhouse Racebook. Sunday, Clubhouse Racebook, a double promotion, play the board, and a match bet. That's all Sunday at the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue in Albany. So a lot of fun, a lot of great promotions and events coming up at Capital OTB. You can keep up with all of those, as usual, by checking the website, CapitalOTB.com. We will wrap up the show by answering today's trivia question. And a reminder, the trivia question with the opening day at Belmont. We have a Belmont-related question, and the question is, name 3 of the last 5 Belmont Stakes winners. Name 3 of the last 5 Belmont Stakes winners. We will go down that list in just a moment to see if you had 3 of them pegged, at least. But let's kick things off by starting the sequence, going back to 2016, 5 Belmont Stakes ago, and let's see who's going to kick off this sequence, the winner of the 2016 Belmont Stakes.
and they're into the stretch. And Destin has taken the lead in the Belmont Stakes. Stradivari is there. Governor Malibu couldn't get through on the inside. He is in traffic. Exaggerator. Here comes Lonnie on the far outside, and Creator is coming too. It is Destin in front. Creator. Lonnie on the outside. Destin and Creator. These two come down to the line together. Too close to goal. It was Creator and Destin right on the wire. And Iran Ortiz raised his whip in victory, but it is very close in the Belmont Stakes.
When the photo was developed, it was Creator getting it done. 2016, Creator for trainer Steve Asmussen. 2017, it was Tapret for trainer Todd Pletcher. 2018, on the way to a Triple Crown, it was Justify for Bob Baffert. In 2019, Sir Winston won for trainer Mark Casse. And last year, in the funny year where the Belmont Stakes actually let off the Triple Crown, Tiz the Law won for Barclay Tagg and the Sakatoga Stable folks. So Creator, Tapret, Justify, Sir Winston, and Tiz the Law, the last 5 winners. If you name 3 of those, you got today's trivia question correct. If you tossed in American Pharoah, oof, you just missed. He was 6 years ago, so he didn't make the last 5 winners, but we'll give you some extra credit perhaps. Going to wrap it up for this Thursday, April 22nd edition of the Daily Report, brought to you by CapitalOTBBet.com. I'm Seth Merrill. Always appreciate your tuning in. Spread the word. We'll see you tomorrow. And, of course, good luck Thursday afternoon and evening.